Hey everybody, I am here to talk to you about the hurricane season that is about to be upon us and what you can do to prepare, and just some of my tips and tricks for living on the Gulf Coast of Florida for about 17 years. So I've been through quite a few big storms, and after many years of trials and tribulations, I think I've come up with a pretty good list of what to have to be totally prepared. So number one, you're going to want to stock up. So as soon as you see something that's near you or that could possibly even turn to come to where you're at, go to the store, because everyone's going to be buying everything out and you don't want to be stuck with empty shelves and nothing. Your number one thing is going to be food. Canned food, of course, dried food, nuts, proteins, canned tuna, that kind of thing. Water, and batteries. Those are really three essentials to make it through safely and happily. You also want to make sure you have candles readily available, flashlights, a lighter or two, and a box of matches. A first aid kit, and you don't have to go buy a fancy first aid kit. Which I'm going to show you in a minute, just threw some band-aids, some antiseptic, Neosporin, that kind of thing in my little drawer. Especially if you're in buggy areas like I am in Florida, you want bug spray because it's going to be extremely hot in your house when you have no power. So you're probably going to be spending a lot of time outside, and you want to make sure that you're protected from not only the mosquitoes, but all of the different illnesses they carry. So definitely need to do that. You need a weather radio, whether it's battery operated or a hand crank kind. I have a dual one, so if the batteries die, you can hand crank it. That way you can keep up to date when you have no power, TV, phones, internet. You can still know what's going on and where the storm's at and if it's safe to come out. If you have a generator, that's even better. You don't have to have a huge one. We have a small one, and it runs our deep freezer and a fan. It also has a USB port to charge a cell phone. Fans are great if you have a generator. If you don't, a hammock outside, because you're not going to want to sleep inside. Let's see, if you have a barbecue, either if it's charcoal, make sure you stock up on lighter fluid and charcoal, or if it's gas, make sure you have plenty of propane on hand. You're also going to want to make sure you have a couple different things that for kids to entertain them with, because when you pick your safe spot to be when the worst of the storm's coming through, they're going to be bored. If the power goes out, they're going to be scared, and you need something to keep their mind off of it. So I stock a couple decks of cards, like a small board game, some pencils and pens and colors, and some paper, just basic things. Some snacks, gummies or lollipops, just something to keep their mind off of it. Another thing you want to do is have a list ready, maybe on the fridge or where everyone is aware of where your safe room is and evacuation parts of your house. So once that's established, you want to make sure on the list all of the vehicles get filled with fuel. This is in case of a last-minute evacuation, and as well as if you need the gas to be able to go get more supplies when things start to reopen, because the gas stations usually are not the first thing to open. You want to charge all of your electronics. Even if you don't have internet, you might be able to let the kids get on the computer and entertain themselves, or maybe you want to, type a diary of what's going on. If you have a camera and you want to record or film some of it, and make sure that battery's charged, and if you have a backup battery, that's charged as well. If you don't have a generator, another great thing about having your car fueled up is that you can take your car charger, sit in your car for a few minutes once the worst part of the storm is over, and you can charge your phone, so you can communicate with your family and let them know that you're safe. Let's see, you want to go to the bank and pull out cash. Obviously, when you need to go buy more supplies and all the power is still out, stores will reopen, but they're only going to take cash, because obviously with no power, they can't run your card. Another important thing would be to put all of your documents in something waterproof. I have not done that yet. I used to have them in a waterproof thing. Now they're just in one envelope, but at least I know where they're at, so if I needed to grab them and throw them in, one of our waterproof bins, I could. When I say important documents, prescriptions, Social Security cards, copies of your driver's license, if you have a life insurance policy, a homeowner's insurance policy, a car insurance policy, you know, anything that involves your children legally that you would not want to lose in the case of emergency. And if you're a pet owner, you need to make sure you have your pet's shot records with you. Because if you do have to evacuate, the only time you're ever going to be able to either board them in a safe place or take them with you for a pet-friendly place is if you can show up-to-date shot records. So it's very important. I keep all those together in one envelope. So nothing, you know, when you have an hour before the storm hits, you can't go do all of these things. So it's important to have a guideline that your whole family knows, and each person's in charge of certain things. Most of the time you have more than an hour, but you never know. When Hurricane Katrina came through, it was not supposed to hit New Orleans. But look what happened, and it was complete devastation and no one was prepared. So, with that said, make sure you also fill any prescriptions that are outstanding that you call in, pick up. That way, if Walmart or CVS or wherever you fill them isn't open and you run out, you've got a backup. Let's see. I think now I'm just going to go ahead and show you. This is our laundry room. It is also our safe room. It is the most interior room of our house that has no windows. And this is a brick house, so it's very safe. However, it is kind of handy that this is our safe room because this is where we store our deep freezer, which we keep running by the generator if we lose power, and where we have our washing machine, which is great because we fill that up all the way to the top with water, so that when the storm's over, we can still flush toilets, you know, bathe, the many things you need water for. Wash your hands, just sanitary purposes. So half of my laundry room is full of laundry and beach towels and extra blankets and bedding, and the other half on the bottom is all of my hurricane preparedness stuff. So I think I'll just go ahead and turn the camera around and I'll show you guys what I mean by my safe room being stocked. So here. Alright, so I've turned the camera around and I'm walking into our laundry room. As you can see, this is our deep freezer where we keep a lot of backup meats and even some breads and frozen fruits, and extra storage for all of my birthday and holiday bags. This is also where we keep our litter box because we do have a kitty. And our kitty is mostly outdoors, but we have this litter box for two reasons. One, so that the cat has somewhere to use the bathroom if in case of a storm and he's in our safe room with us, or if somebody accidentally leaves him in for the night and he can't hold it. So, pretty handy. This is my laundry side of the laundry room, or safe room if you will. And this is my folding counter, which I will have to admit I had to clean off before I take this video because it was a mess. So anyway, let's just go ahead and get started. And just so you know, this is a probably 10-foot by 4-foot room. And we have 4 people here, 2 dogs, and a cat. So it's not a ton of space, but it's better than maybe a tiny bathroom. So this is the first drawer. This has candles, lighters, matches, toilet paper, paper towels, soap, ibuprofen, some small trash bags, just kind of some random important things. Excuse me. This is our food drawer. Now, by no means is this all of the food you would need for a hurricane if you lost power. This is food if you have to sleep in your safe room or you're in there for a long period of time because the storm is slowly moving over you. I get hungry, but especially the kids, when they get bored especially, they always want to eat. They're always hungry. So these are things that you can eat that don't require heat. These I know are best warm, but they will slowly soften in water, and at least it's kind of more like a meal. We've got some nuts, some walnuts, crackers, tuna, chicken, granola bars, some hot cocoa stuff, which is just basically like chocolate milk except for you use water, some spoons, wine, beer opener, can opener. You know, like I said, you actually need 1 to 2 weeks of food rations in your house for, you know, I would say a hurricane category 3 and up. But you just really never know, so it's always good to have it. And I like to already have it in here so I don't have to worry about stocking it all when I'm trying to do other things to prepare. And this drawer is more random. This is our very important paperwork in this lower folder here. I've got a couple of magazines, some notebooks to write in. This is our money bag for cash. However, it's only springtime and we haven't had any time to save up and put any cash in it, but there will be cash in here. I would recommend at least $100. Some pens, pencils, some sunscreen, because if you're going to be outside a lot, especially here in Florida, you're going to need a lot of sunscreen. Hand sanitizer, another little mini lantern. This is great. This is actually a USB charger, and you charge it with your computer. You can also charge it with your car, so that's always handy. Screwdrivers, a multi-purpose tool, you know, just kind of random stuff. A carabiner, an extra light bulb, Band-Aids, Neosporin, a few things for the kids to do. I mean, really just, you know, as you can see, this kind of ends up being the drawer where everything gets thrown in. But I also have a big thing of hand sanitizer and lots of rags. These are all rags and bigger rags up there. So these are all very handy when you have no power or flowing water, because things can get messy. All right, so as you can see, don't judge, these are really bad, but oh my God, that's like where I throw all my stuff. I don't know where to put it. These are some of our beach towels, and this is really not organized, and a bunch more beach towels and extra blankets, which, oh, I can't believe I showed you that. Anyway, this, oh boy, is not what was supposed to happen. We just had a garage sale, and I was supposed to get rid of everything that didn't sell, but I kept a couple of things and hid them. Yeah, so that's where that is. Anyway, this is our dual weather radio. It has batteries and it hand cranks. All of these bleach bottles actually are marked water. What you do is when you run out of bleach, you know, for the month or whenever you're done with your laundry, all you have to do is fill it with water and put the cap back on. The small amount of bleach that's left inside of these containers will sanitize your water for up to 5 years. As long as you don't rinse it out beforehand, you can drink that water. Of course, you gotta have some vino, Chardonnay, Cabernet. I'm sure there'll be some beer in our big boat cooler with tons of ice. You definitely need tons of ice. So if you have a place to store ice, get ice. Of course, we've got a few bottled waters there and some sodas. As you can see, this probably needs stocked a little bit more before hurricane season, but we're only in mid-April, so I'm definitely ahead of schedule. And this, last but not least, is a mixture of stuff. But it looks like, okay, I've got still some canned fruit left over from last year. Some baby wipes are great because if you can't shower, at least you can kind of clean yourself up and sanitize. This is a great little cotton kit with cotton balls and ear swabs, and then like some little sheets of cotton, like if somebody were to get hurt. These are our batteries. These aren't all of our batteries, but these are the batteries that run most of the things that we need when power goes out. So we have all different sizes. We've got more flashlights, more candles, more cards, vinyl gloves, because you're going to be touching a lot of unsanitary things and you can't wash your hands as much as you normally would. So gloves are very important. And I think that is about it for the tour. As you can see, this, oh, I don't know how many gallons or how big this thing is, but we've got it about half to 3/4 way stocked right now with meat. If we keep this closed, which looks like it's starting to ice over, it's not good. If we keep that closed, before we even have to hook up the generator, that will keep our meat fresh, now not frozen, but fresh and cold for 3 days, which is amazing. So another tip or trick would be to, when you do buy your ice, you'll want to buy probably at least 10 bags, and I would put it in your freezer and your refrigerator in a big bowl, and then a bunch on top of your meat if you have a deep freezer, because then as it melts, as long as you don't keep opening that door, it's going to keep your stuff for another 48 to 72 hours. So very handy. You also want to make sure you fill your bathtubs, your sink, anything you can fill with water, because water supply is always short and your body can go a lot longer on low amounts of food than it can water. 3 days, no water, and I think it's 3 weeks, no food. Water is key. So, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera back around and we will finish this up.